I just want you to clap again because I want to soak it all in because I'm never going to get asked back. So do it one more time. I'm going to take you on a journey today about what my life looks like in nursing and what my career looks like. I want you to imagine something with me. I'm a new graduated nurse. I'm probably 20-something. I work at a job where I wear jeans, T-shirts, and Birkenstocks every day, so I'm very lucky. In doing that, a company approached me and said, "Hey, Lyndsay, we want to fly you across the country. We want you to educate physicians." What? You want me? Why? They said, "You can do it. You're so great." Okay. I was scared. Didn't know what that was going to look like. I also wouldn't call myself an extreme professional. So I decided in my moment to be professional that I would buy a business suit and a pair of pantyhose. And this is how my defining moment comes along. I'm in a room with 100 physicians and nurses. My education is going great. I'm feeling proud. I'm really feeling myself. You know what I mean? You know when you're doing good and you just feel it? And I look down because my legs feel uncomfortable. And I notice my pantyhose are falling down. And then I think, okay, just keep going, Lyndsay, you got this. But then I look down again and I notice, if I can see them, so can they. So I notice they're starting to murmur, right? They're starting to talk. They want to laugh, but they won't. They feel bad. So I decide this is my defining moment. This is it. What am I going to do? I go just a second, and I waddle off stage. And I go to the bathroom. Just keep in mind there are tears in my eyes. I am stressed. I go to the bathroom. I throw those pantyhose down. I look at them. I feel shameful that I even thought I could do that. I grab them. I walk back into the room. I hold them up. Gosh, those things are kind of slippery. And I throw them to the side. But while I was out there, all I could think about is, gosh, I've really just screwed this up. They're never going to ask me to speak again. But what I realized, if I could control that momentum, if I could change the narrative, maybe they could actually learn something. So in my defining moment, I didn't give up. I kept going. And then I not only got them to laugh with me, I got them to like me. I got them to then listen to me. And then I was really feeling myself, and it was over at that point. But what happened is I realized what happens in our brain is when we laugh, we feel things in our brain that are different. We get a release of dopamine. Dopamine's like a good old brain opiate. It goes up there, makes us feel a sense of reward and pleasure. We get that endorphin increase. We feel more happy, energetic. We get that serotonin increase. Our moods gets better. We just generally feel good. Releases that oxytocin where we feel that love, that sense of belonging. So not only did I didn't know at the time I was doing anything purposeful, but afterwards I realized if I could make someone laugh, maybe they could feel happier. Then I realized that dopamine not only helps to make you happy, it helps increase your long-term memory. So mom and dad, I know you're in the room, you're getting old, you need to laugh harder at my jokes. About 10 years later, a doctor came to me, he said, "Hey, Lyndsay, I remember something about that talk. I remember your pantyhose fell down." Thanks, doc. Great that you brought that up. He said, "I also remember what you talked about. I heard 7 people that day, but I remember you." That made it my defining moment. But sometimes laughter can go wrong. In fact, that might happen today here on this TED stage, so just give me another 5 minutes, we'll figure that out. I was asked once to lead a grief and loss support group. I was nervous because I don't really like talking about death. Who does? Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, that's it, okay? Nobody else wants to talk about that. So I decided in my wisdom of the moment that I'll do a couple jokes before we get into the meat of the session. You look horrified, sir. You should be. It was horrifying. You should be. It's shameful. So what happens is I realize this is going tragically wrong. They're staring at me. So I decide I'll change midstream, but I'd already lost him. A man raises his hand and he says, the problem with you trying to make us laugh is that you didn't recognize that we needed to feel our feelings. You didn't recognize that we needed this group. We didn't need you to tell us how to feel. I think that happens to us a lot. As Americans especially, as women especially, we love to tell people how to feel. You should feel this way, you should feel that way. And sometimes when we use laughter, it doesn't allow for the feelings to be fully felt. So let's talk about laughter and gratitude. I'm sure you've heard a lot of gratitude conversation more and more as we talk about mental health care. What does gratitude mean to you? I had a client once tell me gratitude means being happy about everything. Well, that is not what gratitude is. When you work in mental health care, you can sometimes get drained by the patients that you see. So you have to learn to find grateful moments. I was sitting in my office one day and I had a patient coming in who kind of sucks the bone marrow out of my body, if that gives you, it's a difficult person to deal with. And I decided I needed to practice gratitude. So I sat there and thought about all the things that I could help this person with. What could I be grateful for? And when he came into the room, he just began this whole negative narrative. My life is horrible. I wrecked my car. I don't have anything good. And I said to him, can you think of one thing you're grateful for? His response, no. This is going great. I said, can you think of one thing that's made you happy lately? Nope. I said, okay, can I tell you a joke? He said, yeah, I guess. I said, why did the cookie go to the doctor? Because he felt crummy. And he laughed just like you out of pity. But I said, look at you, you're laughing. And he goes, no, I'm not laughing. I'm just grateful I never have to hear that joke again. And I said, see, gratitude, it really works. But what we see gratitude do is when we laugh, we become more positive. When we become more positive, we become more grateful. When we become more grateful, we become happier. It's just the truth. It's the way our brain works. Every time he comes into my office since that time, he tells me a new knock-knock joke. I love that. He laughs, I laugh. I can see him improving. We had to break the barrier somewhere, and that worked for us. That's my adorable 4-year-old son, Wyatt, and he is actually laughing in this photo. And he also might be angry, who knows. But when we talk about laughter and anger, how many of you feel like you get angry every day? Show of hands. Like 4 of you. I feel like that's a lie. I was behind some of you in traffic today. I know that's a lie. The problem is when we get angry, we shut laughter down, right? We shut the positivity down. And what I noticed with my son is when he is angry and I match his level of anger, our communication gets worse and worse. And we have what I call the perfect storm. He's mad, I'm mad, blow. So after I've asked him for the 247th time to put on his shoes, all the moms in the room laughed because that's so true. Or I opened his pudding cup and ruined his whole life, because that happens too. Okay, his whole life. I realize that I have a moment that I can choose my attitude. So I say, hey, Wyatt, if you don't put your shoes on, Mommy's going to put them on. And I run over and I try to put them on my feet, and he laughs and I laugh. And then I look over at him and I see it. His brain is getting more oxytocin. That sense of love, that sense of belonging. Keeps us from hating each other on the car ride to preschool is the other part of that. So we eventually wrangle him in and we get those shoes on, right? And on the way to preschool, we get to listen to Taylor Swift. What's better than that? Nothing. Nothing. One of the things I want to challenge you with today is that laughter is as essential as anything you get to do. It's free, it's cheap, it's easy. How many of you watch cat videos? Right? All of you. Nobody gets mad, but everybody watches the cat video. I love that. Cat videos have been shown to increase our level of dopamine. They make us happy. Do things that make your brain happy. Happiness is a choice. Do you agree? Yes. Happiness is such a choice. So when you have moments of sadness, you're feeling ungrateful, you're feeling unloved, don't feel bad about searching YouTube for those silly cat videos. Don't feel bad about spending time with that person in your life who makes you laugh the most. Watch those things, do those things. I promise you, your brain will thank you.